Do you hear that sound? That beautiful sound. Jesus Christ, Superstar. Holy crap. Ugh, breaking my every other week rule again. Hi, I'm Kitty Monk. I'm here to talk to you about South Park. Or more specifically, Mr. Hankey, the Christmas Pooh. Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah. Apologies to all of you lonely Jews. Well, I think it's safe to say that by this point, South Park is my newest mainstay show, meaning it's the flagship cartoon that you know me for and helps to carry my channel. Likely either until I run out of content, views get too low, or the show ends, whichever comes first. I guess this also means I'm allowed to break my rule. It's that special time of year when cartoons make holiday episodes. Like I said last year, holiday episodes kind of straddle the line between canon and non-canon, as creators make them with the expectation they'll likely only be aired or over-aired at one point of the year, because I totally don't watch that King of the Hill episode with Tammy Wynette in March. Regardless, holiday episodes are something to be celebrated. In fact, South Park got its start through a series of online holiday specials, but I'm getting ahead of myself. In South Park, if you don't like Santa and his slaughtering of woodland critters, you might prefer Mr. Hankey. Oh boy, Mr. Hankey. Now, this might come as a shock to you, but Mr. Hankey is actually one of my least favorite characters. Okay, just make it quick. Look, it's not that I think he's a bad character. I don't hate him. In fact, he can make me laugh every now and again. It's just that he can get to be pretty tiring really quickly. In fact, I'm not all that surprised Matt and Trey wrote him off. So, let's discuss. Mr. Hankey is one of the earliest South Park characters, meant to be introduced as far back as before the original pilot. Mr. Hankey is the show's equivalent to Santa for anybody who does not celebrate Christmas. Now, normally when I talk about a character, I tend to do it linear, and since South Park has such a rich history, I like to bring up fun facts when the time comes. However, Mr. Hankey is so instrumental to the show ending up where it is now that I have to get it out of the way first. I always say that many of your best ideas come from your own life, and South Park is no exception. As a child, Trey Parker had trouble toilet training. He would not flush. Hopefully, he washed his hands. As a result, his father, a geologist also named Randy, that's convenient, told him that if he kept up the habit, his poop would come to life as Mr. Hankey and kill him. Aw, that's comforting. My parents told me that if I did not toilet train, I couldn't go to preschool. Throughout the years, Trey would draw Mr. Hankey, and eventually made him a full-fledged character. He also did the same with the Grim Reaper on a tricycle, but that's a story for another day. When he met Matt Stone at University of Colorado Boulder, they decided that once they made a show, Mr. Hankey would be a character. Matt and Trey pitched the original idea of South Park to many networks, among them Fox. However, Fox had one little request. They did not want talking poop on their network. Oh boy, give it a few years. In response, Matt and Trey took their show elsewhere and ended up at Comedy Central. And they brought executive producer and their personal friend, Ryan Garden, with them. He was an executive at Fox, and when they let go of South Park, he went with them. So he really played Russian roulette with his career. At the pitch meeting, Matt and Trey asked, one thing we have to know before we really go any further, how do you feel about talking poo? And when Comedy Central did not really mind, they stayed on. Of course, there were other reasons. They did not want to end up on MTV, which likely would have watered them down, which is ironic given the circumstances, or forget they exist in a decade and replace them in their reruns with a stupid show about people watching Vines. But Comedy Central is where South Park has stayed to this very day. 25 years later. Now, even if I don't like Mr. Hankey, and again, for that I apologize, you have to admit that he is technically the reason South Park got to where it was. And for that, we should be grateful. Think about it. If South Park became a Fox cartoon, it probably wouldn't have been as influential or edgy as it is now. True, shows like Family Guy and The Simpsons pushed the boundaries, but I doubt Fox would have allowed entire episodes where they say nothing but the N-word just to prove a point about slurs. On top of that, Fox has a love for animated sitcoms focused on families. I doubt they would have allowed the four boys to be the main focus. I could see it being like American Dad, where we follow closely on one of the boys, let's say Stan and his family, and occasionally the others would appear, sort of like Barry, Snot, and Toshi. So, TY, Mr. Hankey. However, then came the fateful time that Mr. Hankey first appeared on the show. On December 17th, 1997, we met him for the first time. I give you the episode, aptly titled, Mr. Hankey the Christmas Pooh. Yeah, these episodes used to be named after characters. This episode is also special because it's basically a student film that got made long after graduation. In college, one idea that Matt and Trey had was a little boy would be playing with a piece of poop, who he would claim was named Mr. Hankey. A plethora of events would happen, like Mr. Hankey would smear poop on the walls or end up in the counselor's office. Whenever he was discovered, the little boy would claim, "It wasn't me, it was Mr. Hankey," only for the ending to reveal he was insane in the membrane. While this idea never came to be, he eventually recycled it for this episode. But we'll get to those moments when we get to those moments. One day, the school is rehearsing its annual Christmas play, and Kyle is starring as Joseph of Arimathea.
Shut up, fat boy! I'm not fat, I'm festively plump.
So, you celebrate Christmas all year round. That is, until the play is interrupted by the OG Karen, Sheila, who disagrees with them putting on a nativity scene.
I'm trying to direct the school Christmas play.
How dare you include the nativity in a school play? Don't you realize my son is Jewish?
Now, I already went over this, but this is one of a few times I don't think Sheila is in the wrong, just super duper misguided. I can get her being upset about the nativity thing. It's a public school. Even if Joseph of Arimathea is Jewish. Was that intentional? I don't know. However, she did not say they had to stop Christmas altogether. To many people, me included, there's a difference between Christmas, which is a religious holiday celebrating the birth of Christ, about 6 months too late, and Christmas, the secular holiday where you eat cookies and buy gifts. Even later on, when the town goes overboard with sterilizing Christmas, Sheila, strangely, was not the one leading the charge.
The school play is doing a nativity scene! It isn't being sensitive to the Jewish community!
You are the Jewish community!
If anything, Mary McDaniels misunderstood her, and Father Maxey took advantage of her to push his beliefs on the rest of the town. When Sheila suggests incorporating Hanukkah, which is going on right now, so shalom, Kyle brings up one of his own ideas.
I can sing the Mr. Hankey song, Mr. Hankey the Christmas Pooh. Haven't you guys ever heard of it? What the hell is Christmas Pooh?
To the rest of the students, Mr. Hankey is an imaginary friend Kyle made up to cope with not having Santa. So long as you have a lot of fiber in your diet, Mr. Hankey will come out of the toilet and bring you presents. I guess my french fry loving behind will never see Mr. Hankey. When Garrison insults Sheila one time too many, she decides to go to the mayor. Outside, the kids partake in the joys of Christmas, but exclude Kyle for being Jewish. Hey, you're doing Cartman's job. Kyle can't do anything fun, like eat snow.
Hey, what the hell are you doing? Jewish people can't eat Christmas snow. I think it's against the law, dude. Officer Barbrady, is it illegal for Jews to eat Christmas snow?
Yes?
Damn it!
What about the rest of the year? Is it illegal then? Is the snow kosher?
Oh, sick, dude!
Actually, that's apparently good luck, but I think it's just a load of bird crap. Well, on Christmas, Kyle gets to go eat Chinese food and see a movie, which honestly is not a bad idea. I saw Force Awakens on Christmas. What are you guys doing? Opening some presents? Christmas to you is over in less than half an hour. Feeling left out, Kyle sings a song about being a lonely Jew on Christmas, which is illegal because he's Jewish, and Jewish people cannot sing songs at Christmas. Somebody get Officer Barb Brady. Elsewhere, the town is getting concerned about the prominence of Christmas and how offensive it is. Where is PC Principal when you need him? For example, epileptics are offended at Christmas lights, while environmentalists are offended at Christmas trees.
And we must put a stop to the cutting down of Christmas trees.
Wait, couldn't you just go to Walmart and buy one of those fake trees?
We are deeply offended by the nativity scene in front of the Capitol office. Church and state are separate.
Well, I have anxiety, and I am offended at cookies. Don't you know the sugar just makes me more anxious? If you guys are not careful, I am gonna go full cornholio. But do you want to know who was the most offended? It ain't Sheila, it ain't Garrison, and it's 20 years too early for PC Principal.
Sick and tired of those little flaps on coffee lids. If you don't want to spill your coffee, then you shouldn't be driving with it.
Jimbo, I think Starbucks gave you your wish. Mayor McDaniels says they should make a new icon, and Kyle, once again, suggests Mr. Hankey.
Oh boy, here we go again. Mr. Hankey, he comes out of the toilet every year and gives presents to everybody who has a lot of fiber in their diet.
Kyle, shh.
It's true. He doesn't care what faith you are.
Sheila, likely already super frustrated, takes Kyle home as Mayor McDaniels vows to make Christmas as non-offensive as possible. This will turn out so well. At home, Gerald lectures Kyle on why he needs to stop talking about Mr. Hankey.
It is sick and disgusting, and we simply will not have it.
Your father's right, Kyle.
Sheila, let me handle this.
Okay, one, I'm surprised the roles are not reversed, because honestly, if this were the later seasons, Sheila would be the one doing it, and Gerald would just be off to the side like, listen to your mother, Kyle. And two, oh, I bet Gerald knows firsthand about dealing with turds, cause he is one. And boom goes the dynamite. Even if turd is my least favorite word ever, but it's worth a joke. Kyle goes to get ready for bed when he comes face to face with the Pooh Man himself.
Mr. Hankey?
Okay, in Mr. Hankey's defense, I do like his voice. I am not too proud to admit that.
Oh, something, pal. You smell an awful lot like flowers.
Oh, I thought he smelled like tacos and chili. Mr. Hankey sings a song, and he even spells out my middle name on a mirror. How did he know about the freestyle rapper Noel Pagan? Gerald hears a song coming from inside and catches Kyle brown-handed.
Kyle!
Say something, Mr. Hankey.
Kyle's parents are pissed he smeared crap all over the bathroom and wrote a secular Christmas word on the mirror. Kyle, you're Nita now. Nita? Shun him regardless.
Get to sleep and think about how your poor mother has to clean that bathroom up.
What? Me?
You sure, Gerald? I thought you liked poop. It's super close to pee. Mr. Hankey comes back to life while Kyle confesses that nobody believes in him. The two decide to take Mr. Hankey to school the next day to prove all the other kids wrong.
You guys, I'm getting that John Elway football helmet for Christmas.
Why, Stan? Butters hates him. Don't trust the song.
How do you know? Because I looked in my parents' closet last night.
Were Tom Cruise and John Travolta in there too? At the bus stop, Kyle presents Mr. Hankey, but nobody believes him. Wonder why.
Is this some kind of Jewish tradition? He's alive. Kyle, I think you better get home and get some sleep. Come on, dance! Dance!
In school, the Christmas tree is getting torn down, and as it's getting harder to think of any holiday songs, Cartman suggests one that's copyright free.
Yes, Eric?
How about we sing, Kyle's mom is a stupid in D minor.
Mr. Hankey comes to life and flings himself at Cartman. Of course, nobody knows Mr. Hankey is alive, which spells bad news for Kyle.
Kyle, did you just throw doo-doo at Eric?
You sick.
From this day forward, Cartman would scheme to do away with Kyle and the Jews. You just had to have your way, kid. You just had to. Kyle is sent to Mr. Mackey.
Now, I also understand that you're Jewish, is that right, Kyle?
Well, not on purpose.
Yeah, it's not his fault his mom is a naggy B-word.
Do the other kids make fun of you?
Well, sometimes.
And that must make you mad.
Well, sure.
Mad enough to kill Kyle?
No, he's not Cartman. Unfortunately, Mr. Hankey is showering in coffee, and Kyle gets caught in the act once again.
Ugh! Oh my god, you sick little monkey!
I heard John Kay hated this show. Ugh, of course he would. He hates anything creative that requires effort and inspiration. In response, Kyle is thrown into the psych ward. Hopefully nobody sends him a Chucky doll.
Bye, Kyle. Happy Hanukkah.
Aw, Cartman. Thankfully, the mental hospital seems to be super duper fun.
Dreidel, dreidel, I made you out of clay. Dreidel, 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 with dreidel I will play. Second, first, same as the first. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel,
Wow, isolation, because that works so well. The play promises to be as not offensive as possible, and promise me when I say it would make even the artsiest college student gag, like a lactose intolerant kid at an ice cream factory.
As I turn and look into the sun, the rays burn my eyes. How like a turtle the sun looks.
Sheila and Father Maxie don't like it.
This is horrible!
This is the most god-awful piece of crap I've ever seen.
Hey, you're the ones who made it this way.
As a fight ensues, Chev inquires about Kyle's absence.
Christmas Pooh? You mean Mr. Hankey?
Huh? Uh-oh.
Chev's on Prozac too? Are you sure the Super Adventure Club even likes that? Stan says that the only way to help Kyle is to believe in Mr. Hankey.
I believe in Mr. Hankey.
So Cartman pulls a fox.
Okay, that does it. Screw you guys, I'm going home. Talking poo is where I draw the line.
As the kids believe in Mr. Hankey, he comes to life and gives a speech, which calms the townsfolk down.
This is the one time of year we're supposed to forget all the bad stuff. And for just one day, say, oh, to heck with it.
Wait. The kids might believe in Mr. Hankey, but the adults don't. How do they see him?
Don't think about it!
Fine, I guess it is Christmas. But it does not matter as Kyle is free and the entire town goes to celebrate.
I learned something today. I learned that Jewish people are okay, and that Hanukkah can be cool too. Yeah.
Ugh, too bad Cartman wasn't the one to learn that lesson. The town welcomes Mr. Hankey with open arms, and he would end up becoming a full-fledged citizen. We next see Mr. Hankey in Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. Can't believe I said that. Which is not a Christmas special, as it aired in August. The Sundance Film Festival is happening, this time in South Park, which of course will be great. Tourists and traffic are the best. Garrison wants the class to watch one movie at the festival and write a paper about it. And since this is 1998, they can't just Google the movie on Wikipedia. Surprised they're allowed to go considering the first movie.
My blossom, my flame. When we make love, it's like the sun is right outside the door.
Then make love to me right now.
Dude!
At the film festival, Chef starts to sell fudge-type food products, among them chocolate salty balls.
Oh, look, one of the natives is selling local food wares. How quaint.
Okay, I'm surprised Chef did not slap them. At night, Kyle is on the toilet when he hears a siren song.
Could it be?
Scratch that. He sounds like a cat in heat getting run over repeatedly by a Hummer. And my avatar is a cat, so I am allowed to say it. The celebrations begin to infect the town, like chicken pox. It's a pox party.
And the town after that. Like termites, we will move this film festival from town to town until we have used it up, and then move on, until every quiet mountain town is like Los Angeles. That's it.
They want to gentrify the town 2 decades too early.
Why would we do such a thing?
Because we have to live in LA, and if we can't live in quiet, simple, peaceful mountain towns, then nobody will.
Do you really want to live in a private mountain town? It's not just a mountain town, it's a redneck bodum white trash little town. There's literally a song about it. The boys go in the sewer to try and find Mr. Hankey, only to stumble on Garrison.
Oh, hello, children.
What are you doing down in the sewer with a bunch of snorkel stuff on?
Oh, I was just, hanging out.
Charlie Kelly does it, Frank Reynolds does it, Sweet Dee did it that one time. Mr. Hankey appears, dressed in his concept art. He's sick, as he explains.
The sewer is a fragile ecosystem. These new folks in town eat nothing but couscous, tofu, and raw vegetables, and it's destroying my environment. That's why, Kyle. That's why.
Unfortunately, the only time he can go to the surface is Christmas, as he'll dry out otherwise. Wait, don't you live in Colorado? This means it's up to Kyle to set things right. As expected, nobody believes them.
I'm not gonna let you die.
You let Kenny die? He even dies later in this episode.
Oh my god! I found a penny! You
Kyle decides to take Mr. Hankey to the surface, because better he die surrounded by people than by crap. Literal crap. Up above, Cartman has sold the rights of the Mr. Hankey story to the Hollywood people, and it's adapted into a movie with Tom Hanks.
I always thought death was something glorious, but now I know that it's not.
It's Achilles and Odysseus. Elsewhere, Kyle takes out Mr. Hankey, E.T. style. Do you have a flower, Kyle? Didn't you watch the movie? It's like a canary in a coal mine. Kyle tries to show the producers Mr. Hankey. Yay, he's dead. Clearly this video is over. But Mr. Hankey has some parting words.
One time, when you were sleeping, I put myself in your mouth and had my friend take a picture.
Cartman, did you watch this episode before you started inviting Butters to sleepovers? Mr. Hankey is immortalized in a montage, while Stan is there for Kyle.
I'm here for you.
For all of 5 seconds.
Ready to go see another movie? Okay.
Kyle and Chef go to visit Mr. Hankey in the ICU.
Chef, does Pooh go to heaven?
Well, I kind of hope not.
Is the Pooh Mormon? Chef gives Mr. Hankey one of his chocolate salty balls, which brings him back to life.
That was delicious.
My salted chocolate balls must have rejuvenated him.
That's what all the ladies say. Kyle brings Mr. Hankey to the opening of the Planet Hollywood, where he gives a Mad Libs type speech.
Film festivals shouldn't be about what celebrities are coming or what film is gonna get showed. It should be about people getting together and watching movies.
Instead, this one dude picks up a piece of crap and throws it onto a building, because that's not weird at all.
I have had enough of you!
Mr. Hankey dies. So Chef gives him more balls. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Chef. Your big chocolate balls are just the trick.
One Fantasia parody later, and ew, it's worse than the rat scene in Suicide Squad, ew. But the Hollywood people are gone.
Hooray!
Oh yeah, now all we have is a town covered in This is much better.
Thank you, Mayor McDaniels. I still wonder what your first name is.
And I've learned something too. Being a sellout is sweet because you make a lot of money. You don't have to hang out with any poor losers like you guys.
Did you teach that to Adam Levine? However, this is not the only time we see Mr. Hankey. In Mr. Hankey's Christmas Classics, he acts as the framing device for what are a bunch of Christmas songs. Yeah, I'm not really gonna talk about the episode. There's no real plot. It feels kinda boring outside of the Cartman song. There's also A Very Crappy Christmas, which feels like another one of those meta episodes, like the return of Chef, and I am all for it. At the Broflovski house, Kyle and Ike leave out cookies and milk on the toilet, because either Santa will be there and hella constipated, or Mr. Hankey will show up. Either way, it's a win-win. Like a depressed housewife, Mr. Hankey does not come. In fact, he doesn't even eat his cookies. A cockroach does. Kyle tells Stan and Co. to meet at the bus stop, because the Goth kids have taken over Village Inn. They go back into the sewer and find Mr. Hankey, who now has a wife and a family.
Mr. Hankey! Oh, we were so worried. I was waiting up for you and you didn't come, so I thought that...
Oh, no, I'm fine, Kyle.
In truth, he was too busy living domestic life to worry about his job. So he was planning on sending his children, who honestly I forget their names, he calls them like nuggets, but I prefer the chipmunks, to help deliver Christmas cheer. Mr. Hankey is such a good husband.
Hi, can we go inside for a second?
Scratch that, he's like Eminem, a good father but a horrible husband. The kids say that this year doesn't feel like Christmas.
Nobody seems that into Christmas up there.
I know, it's like it doesn't matter anymore. My mom's barely bought me any presents so far.
And the rest of the townsfolk agree.
Not one toy. I guess this year everyone's content to celebrate with candles and love.
Well, I mean, last year there was a deadly disease. The year before that, we were still in that deadly disease. And the year before that was 2019. To boost spirits, the boys decide to make their own animated Christmas special.
We can get everyone back into the Christmas spirit by making our very own animated Christmas special. Animated Santa Claus and Jesus, and it can star us instead of these little round-headed guys. And we can call it The Spirit of Christmas.
Wait a minute. I left the stove on. Who am I? Sylvia Plath? The boys go to talk to the mayor.
Animated Christmas card. Kids, that just might be the dumbest idea I've ever heard, ever! But at this point, I'm willing to try anything.
Afterwards, they go to Butters to make the video.
Oh, hey, I made a little cutout version of me, too, in case you need it for your animated film.
No, Butters, you were not conceived until the movie. Now shut your trap and continue to act like a good little background character. Mr. Hankey's son, whose name, once again, I forget, so we're calling him Theodore, doesn't think he's right for Christmas.
Come on, son, don't be so down.
Why? We're just pieces of crap. Christmas isn't for us. Nativity. There's angels, shepherds, and sheep, but no poo. All the Christmas movies, Santa, elves, reindeer, no poo. I'm not a part of it.
So his father talks about how poop is technically important, and also everything the light touches is their kingdom, meaning, Theodore, that you have crap because you live in a sewer. It leads into a song that's admittedly pretty good, but I can't play it here, so once again, check it out on your own time. The kids record the voices for the short, while Mr. Hankey arrives to help Mayor McDaniels. Meanwhile, they hit a snafu.
Alright, you know what? I've been here too long. I'm sick of making this stupid cartoon and we're never gonna finish it anyways. Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Not to worry, Stan sounds like Cartman if he was actually literate.
I don't know what to do, dude. Who should we help? I say we help Santa Claus. Oh, you're just saying that because he brings you candy. I don't need to take that kind of from a Jew.
Are you trying to tell us something? Eventually, they send the short off to Korea for the final print, and it's time for the big day. But something happens.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Not to worry, Mr. Hankey once again saves Christmas. And the film ends with one lesson. Presents are what the holiday is truly about.
This is about something much more important. What? Presents.
That is the spirit of Christmas. Commercialism. Because it's what makes our country work.
Maybe he should get a Margaritaville. Everybody buys a present, and Christmas is better.
Hey, man, if you're Jewish, you get presents for 8 days. Wow, count me in. Yeah, I'll be a Jew, too.
Okay, maybe the rabbi thing isn't that far-fetched. Mr. Hankey also appears in Red Sleigh Down, even though, honestly, he does like one thing, and then he just is there for the rest of the episode. Cartman learns that he's likely going to end up on the naughty list. And Kentucky is a state. Unfortunately for Cartman, this is not American Dad, and clearly he is not an only child his mom already spoils. So he decides to donate presents to the kids in Iraq who are without their dictator. Because where was he supposed to go, Detroit? Thinking it'll get him some last-minute points. Mr. Hankey shows up and says he'll take them to Santa on the Poo-Choo Express.
Let's go, Poo-Choo train!
Poo-Choo!
Okay, that was actually legitimately funny. Well, Cartman acts like the most cherubic person possible.
I was just starting to look over the new naughty and nice list the gnomes prepared for me.
Oh, are the tabulations all closed off then?
Surprise, Santa is not a huge voyeur in this version. Cartman tries to tell his plan to Santa, who sounds oddly like a panda. Hey, that rhymes.
Santa, it's just that I was thinking about all the people in Iraq who are afraid that we might bomb them.
You know you're right. Santa hasn't been to that part of the world in a long time.
Santa goes to Iraq while the boys watch. He makes it to Baghdad, where he shot out of the sky.
Merry Christmas! I'm hit! I'm hit!
Oh no! Somebody please call Team America World Police! Welp, Cartman killed Santa. He's never ever getting presents, because that means he has to give up his entire life and take over Santa's spot. The gnome elves can't go get Santa, so the boys have to clean up their mess. Wasn't this a Jimmy Neutron episode? First, they must find Jesus, who heals Santa.
Here, can you walk?
Santa's legs are broken.
They are healed.
However, Jesus is shot on his birthday.
Jesus, behind you!
Yeah, it's okay. The Easter episode said he just comes back to life whenever he dies. He's basically Kenny. But I'm gonna save my Jesus video for April because I really want to talk about that episode with Bill Donahue. Santa goes out, guns a-blazing. But at the last moment, thanks to Kyle's advice, Santa decides to go back and give Christmas to Iraq. Wait, what?
Merry Christmas to all!
And everything is alright. At least Cartman gets karma by getting exactly what he wanted.
Oh, God damn it! Cartman, I thought all you wanted was a Haibo doll. Yeah, but not if you guys have one too. Now it's worthless and gay.
Santa gives one final speech.
Everyone, can I please have your attention? Christmas is a very special time of year, but this year it almost didn't happen.
Where the F have you been? It almost doesn't happen every year. Santa goes to deliver presents with Mr. Hankey.
All excuse me, I've got a lot of work to do.
I'll help you, Santa.
Yay, Mr. Hankey totally proved his worth, right? They couldn't just go to City Walk and ask for a plane. I bet Mr. Hankey will be on the show full time. Yeah, no. See, South Park began to get more creative and fleshed out their world, especially their Christmas specials. There was Christmas in Canada, where the boys engage in a Wizard of Oz type parody, or my personal favorite, Woodland Critter Christmas. As time went on, Mr. Hankey would be lucky to even get a cameo, likely because the crew did not really need him anymore, and they now shifted their focus over to current events. They eventually got rid of him. I present the problem with a poo. Sorry, Charlie. Mayor McDaniels informs the townsfolk that they have to cut the budget for the holiday pageant and must inform the pageant head, who is Mr. Hankey.
The truth is, some people find you offensive.
Offensive? What about me is offensive?
Ever since we last saw Mr. Hankey, he's become more of a monkey spank. His wife left him, and she took the kids, and he's got an itchy Twitter finger. With no budget, Mr. Hankey has to resort to school children who don't know how to play an instrument that is not mayonnaise or horseradish. Okay, new theory. Maybe you should play so quietly no one can hear you. Big meaty claws included. You hear me, Cartman? The other boys go to tell Kyle how Mr. Hankey posted a bad tweet.
Yes, after band rehearsals, he went on Twitter to talk about us. Look! Did you tweet, "The kids of South Park can't play music"?
Thankfully, sort of. It turns out there's a reason for Mr. Hankey's sudden shift into butt munch territory.
Fact is, I couldn't sleep last night, so I took some Ambien. You ever take that stuff? It turns your brains into oatmeal.
So take hydroxin. It's so soothing and blessed and gives the best dreams. Not saying to abuse it, but like if you actually need it, need it. Mr. Hankey continues building, and we learn he has no control over how to use Twitter.
Oh, I'm talking about what you tweeted last night. The city council members are a bunch of Islamists.
Oh, geez, did I say that?
Guess he should have hired Diane. I hear she's like Rick Riordan. Hankey gets fired and tries to apologize. Tries being the key word. Mr. Hankey goes to talk to a legal team who says he has no defense because he keeps shooting himself in the head.
You tweeted, "The city council can suck my Mexican."
It was a joke! Look at me! I don't even have a...
Maybe you should pull a Heidi Turner and throw your phone into the river. He goes to another lawyer.
I'm sorry, sir, but we don't represent pieces of...
That's racist. Rule of three means he goes to Gerald.
I'm sorry, but I learned a long time ago that if you defend poop, you get stained.
Wow. Surprised a fellow jokester like you would not want to take up the case. Don't you see what he was trying to do? He was trying to be funny. Mr. Hankey, it's becoming increasingly clear to me that you need a PR rep, not a lawyer. And what better rep than Kyle?
Wait a minute. You're the son of a lawyer. You have lawyer blood inside your veins. You can help me with my defecation lawsuit, Kyle!
Kyle tries to get a hearing for Mr. Hankey, but nobody wants to be a character witness. Because honestly, they'll be next.
How many times has Mr. Hankey been there for us? Once, kind of. I want to stand by my friend.
Let's see how that goes for you in 2018.
The Hankey hearings are going down. Down the drain, that is.
What did you mean last night when you tweeted, "The mayor of South Park is a..."
Oh, come on, it was a joke!
I'm surprised Matt Damon did not want to play Mr. Hankey. Kyle's reputation goes out the window like a flying piece of crap.
I don't know how much longer I can defend you. People are starting to think I'm...
Well, you did fling poop everywhere that one time. Mr. Hankey decides the best thing to do is to get everybody in the Christmas spirit in early to mid-October.
And that's the point! Don't you see? What we need to do is get everyone in the Christmas mood. We can bring the whole spirit of the holidays early.
Okay, I just want to say that I think this episode had the wrong approach. I like it otherwise, but let me suggest an idea. It's not that the whole Mr. Hankey is an a-hole comes out of nowhere, but this could have been a good topic. The show is no stranger to showing the downsides to Christmas. What if, considering a very crappy Christmas, Mr. Hankey just doesn't believe in the holiday spirit anymore because people are worse off or they expect more from him? Howdy ho, Kyle. People expect so much from me. And freaking July! Christmas isn't even until December. I'm so stressed. I can't sleep. So my doctor prescribed me Ambien. Have you ever had Ambien, Kyle? This episode could have been a commentary on how earlier and earlier we're reminded of Christmas. Woodland critters sort of made fun of that. How we're bombarded with the simple fact that Christmas is only once a year. Maybe it would have been too close to Chef's chocolate salty balls, but hey, something to suck on, I guess. And yes, that was very intentional. Kyle will help if Mr. Hankey makes the decision not to take Ambien.
Don't care how restless you get tonight. No Ambien! If you want my help this time, you aren't taking any Ambien tonight. That's the deal.
Kyle, that's like telling a cop not to shoot people.
Well, maybe just a little if I really can't sleep.
Mr. Hankey does his thing, and he's interrupted by babies.
Well, then tell the babies to shut the up! Who the brings a goddamn baby to a Christmas show anyway? Yeah, these people are idiots!
Well, he's canceled.
Mommy, something stinks.
Yeah, like
Right. Does his mother ever bathe him? Kyle, with great reluctance, leaves Mr. Hankey to his fate.
They're going to erase me and everything I ever did.
You want them to erase me, too?
I mean, you almost got erased because you were too much like Stan. The town follows suit and decides to get rid of Mr. Hankey permanently. Thankfully, Mr. Hankey is accepted somewhere else. Somewhere that's yellow. Oh my god, that came out wrong.
He'll have to find a place that accepts racist, awful beings like him. There are still places out there who don't care about bigotry and hate.
In this place, the seasonal rot is so extreme you can smell it in the air.
Cool, man. Talking crap.
Welcome, my friend. Please, rest your weary feet and make yourself at home here.
Mr. Hankey will be right at home. Don't worry, it gets referenced later.
Jesus, what'd he do? A kid?
No, he tweeted some, inappropriate things.
Oh, you bunch of I'm getting back in my sleigh now.
Yeah, you could have described it a bit more. And honestly, I might get some flag for this, but he does deserve it. I know the point they're trying to make, but he is not sorry. And while he tried to change, he did not try hard enough. He doesn't even get an E for effort. He gets an F for failure. Goodbye, Mr. Hankey. After this review is over, I will go wash my hands. Unlike Bill Cipher and Halloween, I will admit that I did not let you slip through my fingers. Ew, he's poop. And once again, he is my least favorite character. But I don't think he's terrible. I just don't like him that much. I can take or leave him. At least one Hankey got justice. Anyhow, happy holograms. I suddenly have a weird feeling.
What could it be?